Imagine you're walking through life, minding your own business, and out of nowhere, someone insults you. Not just a casual jab, something meant to hurt. They attack your appearance, question your worth, challenge everything you've built. Most people, they snap, they get angry, they lash out. But what if I told you that reaction is exactly what they want? What if I told you that every time you let someone trigger you, you're giving them power for free? There's a reason some people seem untouchable, calm, composed, even feared. It's not luck. It's not fake confidence. It's strategy. 500 years ago, Machiavelli understood this. He who allows himself to be moved by insults is already defeated. The moment you react emotionally, you surrender control. But what if you never reacted? What if you could stay cold, calm, and unshakable, no matter what? In this video, I'm going to show you how to become mentally untouchable, not through wishful thinking, but by using 10 dark psychological laws rooted in strategy, ancient philosophy, and brutal emotional discipline. If you're tired of being manipulated, tired of losing your cool, and ready to reclaim your power, keep watching. People think strength is loud, that it's in shouting, fighting, or proving a point. But the strongest minds, they don't react, they calculate. Emotional control is psychological warfare, because in a world that constantly tries to provoke you, the one who stays calm holds all the power. Law 1. Never explain yourself. The moment you start justifying your actions, you're admitting guilt, even if you're innocent. Powerful people move in silence. They act, let others talk. Law 2. Expect disrespect before it arrives. Most people are shocked when others betray them, criticize them, or cross boundaries. But not you. You've seen it coming. You've trained for it. And when it happens, you're ready. Law 3. Reactions are confessions. Anger is a confession. Over-explaining is a confession. People reveal their weaknesses when they lose control. You want to be unreadable, unpredictable, a silent storm. Law 4. Silence is strategy. Most people fear silence because it feels like weakness, but silence used correctly is pressure, it's power. When you pause instead of react, people start filling in the gaps with their own fear. They wonder what you're thinking. They project guilt onto themselves, and you remain in control. Law 5. Detach from the outcome. Neediness is weakness. Whether it's love, respect, validation, or revenge, the more you need it, the less power you have. Indifference is dominance. When you don't care about the result, you're dangerous, because nothing can be used against you. Law 6. Don't fight, absorb. The strongest energy is the one that doesn't resist but redirects. Like water, you bend around the attack. You don't argue, you don't explain, you let them rant, expose themselves, and exhaust their energy. Then, you act, precisely and coldly. Law 7. Be untriggerable. People will test you. They'll poke, insult, manipulate, just to see what breaks you. But when you've trained your mind not to react, you become terrifying, because nothing works. No insult, no betrayal, no threat can move you. You become mentally invincible. Understand this. People want a reaction because it gives them feedback. It tells them where your buttons are. Your silence, your calm, your refusal to play the emotional game. That's your weapon. That's what makes you different. That's what makes you dangerous. Law 8. Be a mirror, not a sponge. When people throw emotions at you, anger, guilt, fear, don't absorb it. Reflect it. Let their energy bounce back at them. This isn't about being cold-hearted. It's about protecting your emotional clarity. Absorb nothing. Reflect everything. Law 9. Control the frame. Every interaction has a frame, a set of unspoken rules. If you let others set the frame, you're already playing their game. Powerful people define the context. They choose the emotional tone. They lead the conversation without even speaking. Control the frame, and you control the outcome. Law 10. Stay unpredictable. Predictability is weakness. Once people can predict how you'll react, they can manipulate you. So be the one they can't read. Let your silence confuse them. Let your calm unsettle them. Let your unpredictability make you a problem they can't solve. These laws aren't about being fake. They're about being precise. Most people live reactive lives, bouncing from emotion to emotion, always trying to please, explain, or defend. You're not like them. You're strategic. You move with purpose. You don't chase. You attract. You don't react. You rule. At this point, you understand something most people never will, that the real battlefield is your mind, not the outside world, not other people, just you. and your reactions. The moment you stop reacting, you start ruling. The moment you stop defending yourself, you start building power. The moment you stop chasing outcomes, you start attracting results. This isn't about being emotionless. It's about being in control. It's about weaponizing your silence, your calm, your presence, so no one can use your emotions against you. You're not here to be liked. You're here to be respected. You're not here to fit in. You're here to stand out. And you're not here to please. You're here to lead. If this message speaks to you, if you're ready to become the one they can't shake, can't manipulate, can't break, then this is your moment. Subscribe now and join a different kind of mind, one that doesn't play the emotional game, one that rewrites the rules. Why do most people feel like they're not in control of their lives? Because they've been trained to chase validation, to react without thinking. Praise, they light up. Criticism, they shut down. Rejection, they spiral. Their emotional state is a public switch. Anyone can flip it. Anyone can control it. They walk around with their self-worth in other people's hands. But you're done with that. You've started building emotional sovereignty, the ability to remain grounded regardless of what happens around you, to feel deeply but choose what to act on, to hear the insult but not let it in, to see the disrespect but stay calm, to be tested and pass silently. You no longer react just because it feels good. You act because it's strategic. You're not controlled by what happens. You control how you respond. This isn't numbness, it's awareness, it's self-command. You've seen what happens when you let emotions drive: chaos, regret, weakness. Now you've chosen a different path. When they shout, you observe. When they mock, you ignore. When they provoke, you smile. And while they break down, you rise, slow, calm, calculated. The storm doesn't move you. You move through the storm. Most people are slaves, not to chains, but to emotions. You see it everywhere. Outrage on social media, desperate pleas for attention, people arguing for hours just to feel seen. They're not living, they're reacting. Their power was never stolen, they gave it away. Every time they chased approval, exploded in anger, or begged to be understood. But when you break that cycle, when you stop being emotionally available to everyone, when you stop performing for people who don't matter, that's when you become untouchable. They'll say you've changed. They'll say you've become cold. Let them. You're not here to fit into their version of safety. You're here to build something stronger, a self that doesn't collapse under pressure. While they spend their lives trying to prove their worth to strangers, you're sharpening your focus, your presence, your silence, because the more you build in silence, the more powerful you become. And eventually they'll realize you weren't quiet because you were weak. You were quiet because you were working. They'll try everything to pull you back, mock you, ignore you, challenge you, and the old you might have fallen for it. But not anymore. Because now you know, the loudest person in the room isn't the most powerful. The quietest one is. Power doesn't shout, it whispers, it watches, it waits, and when it strikes, it doesn't miss. Silence makes people uncomfortable, not because it's empty, but because it's full of control, full of restraint, full of presence. When you stop reacting, you become unreadable. When you become unreadable, you become untouchable. When you become untouchable, you own the game. That's why your calm is terrifying. That's why your lack of response is louder than any scream. You're no longer playing their game. You're building your own rules. And they can't follow. There comes a moment when silence turns into a signal that you're not playing anymore. You're not explaining. You're not defending. You're not available to anyone's emotional games. You've become untouchable. Not just in mindset, but in presence. Because now, people feel your boundaries before you say a word. They sense your control in the way you pause, in the way you don't flinch, in the way your gaze stays still while theirs flickers. That's the new language of power. Presence without performance. Calm without compliance. Most people still crave approval. They perform kindness hoping for respect. But not you. You are respect. You've realized, to be powerful, you must stop negotiating your identity. You no longer argue with people beneath your values. You no longer beg for understanding in rooms that profit from your silence. You choose clarity over validation, solitude over noise. And in doing so, you've stepped into a level most will never touch. This is no longer about avoiding pain. This is about becoming immune to it, because pain loses power when it meets purpose. And you're full of it. Every scar, every betrayal, every test, now weaponized into insight. You're no longer breakable. You're forged, sharpened, precise. And when the world tries to shake you, it breaks itself instead. So what's next? You don't go back. You don't re-explain your silence. You don't dull your presence to make others feel comfortable. You build, you lead, you rule quietly. And remember this: if they can't read you, they can't reach you. If they can't move you, they can't use you. And if they can't break you, they fear you. Let them. You were never made to be understood. You were made to be undeniable. Stay silent, stay sharp, stay sovereign. You've already won, because you no longer need to prove it.